this conversation about disability and hierarchy, like the one thing that makes me really confused is that people are shocked that it exists. And it lets me know that some advocates on here unfortunately did not get the experience of just being around different disabilities and growing up with different disabilities all around them. And maybe that's a privilege in my world of disability. I got to sort of experience all types of disabilities, whether it was physical or not, whether it was cognitive or not. Like, me and my sister used to go to osteo treatment, and my sister would do OT, and we'd wait in the waiting room. It was like a pediatric kind of program, and like we just saw people with kids with varying disabilities walk through the doors and like never questioning it, but then also recognizing that in some areas me and my sister were less disabled than our other peers who might have been learning how to use a wheelchair or a walker, and we didn't need as much of that advanced therapy, but still needing some therapy to a degree. But then also I would never get offended that they needed more help than I did in that circumstance. And on the flip side to that, me going to school was probably the most visibly disabled that I ever had to experience, because I had an EA pretty much full-time in class, so everyone knew that I was disabled. I was in the special education program, and that's always a red flag for students to know that you are disabled in the school system. And within that special needs class that I was in from grade 4 till grade 8, and then high school from grade 9 to grade 12, knowing that even in that special education class that there were varying support levels, and I was no better or less than my other students. My math level was incredibly low and has always been low, and that's something that I struggle with. But then to see some of my other peers might be like really good at reading, but their behavioral issues were extreme, where sometimes my friends and I would have to leave the classroom as they calmed down. And out of school, because my disability is invisible, not everyone knows that I'm disabled. So in some circumstances, I don't have to be bothered by the ignorant comments of ignorant people. But then when sometimes there's a situation where I have to tell my disability, the first thing out of someone's mouth is, "You don't look disabled." And then of course it's like, "Sorry, I didn't know disability had a specific look for you." At the end of the day, it shows that how important it is to have friends and community within your disability space to almost keep you grounded in reality, and to learn not to get offended when one of your friends is dealing with something that you don't have to deal with, and vice versa. In my own sort of FASD, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, my disability, I would definitely be seen as lower support needs than a lot of other people. But then when I'm put into a situation where I'm with neurotypical able-bodied people, then I'm like, oh, right, I'm disabled, and I'm quite disabled compared to those people that are not disabled. Recognizing that privilege and recognizing that I walk on that fine line between being disabled and not disabled can be difficult, and accepting that can be difficult, but then also understanding that my peers also can have it way worse, and to make sure I have empathy and support for my peers that are struggling way more than me. And that doesn't mean that what I'm struggling with is not important. Alright, that's all I have to say about this conversation on my end. It's an interesting discussion, and I find it super fascinating, and I wanted to put my 2 cents in within my own disability story. But I think a lot of people, the main thing that a lot of advocates are missing is being integrated into the disability community and not growing up with different types of disability, and how that literally could affect their internalized ableism with this conversation.